Today, we're diving into a topic that's often misunderstood. Having a lot of friends, going out all the time, and having people around you all the time is what society says is important for social success. In reality, though, a smaller circle or even walking a road by yourself can mean that you are strong on the inside. Throughout history, some of the smartest people, especially the Stoics, have praised this strength. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you find yourself with fewer friends, it's not something to be ashamed of. In fact, the Stoics would argue that it reflects independence, clarity of purpose, and a powerful inner resilience. Today we'll explore 12 hidden strengths of people with fewer friends, so let's dive in. 1. Independence is a superpower. First things first, let's talk about independence. As a result of their notion that actual power is gained in managing oneself rather than relying on the assistance of others, the Stoics held the belief that true strength originates from inside. One of the most renowned teachings of Epictetus, a former slave who later became a philosopher, was that we should make the best use of what is in our power and take the rest as it occurs. Developing our own personal strength and independence, on the other hand, allows us the freedom to live our lives in an authentic manner, regardless of whether or not we receive approval or validation from other people. He was of the opinion that relying on external support could leave us vulnerable. When you have fewer friends, you frequently find that you have to rely on your own resiliency and will to get through difficult times, in spite of the fact that this may give the impression of isolating you to some others. It actually makes you extremely self-sufficient. This is not the same thing as being lonely. Rather, it is the capacity to face life on your own terms. Consider the following. When you have fewer people around you, you do not have a constant safety net or an external source of inspiration. As an alternative, you become your own anchor, the person who holds you rooted and steady, regardless of what life throws at you. Moreover, this is where independence becomes a superpower. It enables you to make judgments without the requirement of constant reassurance. People who have fewer friends tend to become more adept at confronting issues head-on. You're not waiting for a group of people to direct you or for your pals to point you in the right route. Having this kind of inner strength means that you're ready to face challenges on your own terms, whenever they come your way. You have developed the ability to be your own source of inspiration and stability, which is something that only a small percentage of people are genuinely capable of accomplishing. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and philosopher, placed a high emphasis on this kind of independence. He remarked on the significance of internal resilience in his meditations, saying, "You have power over your mind, not events that occur outside of you. Once you come to terms with this, you will discover your strength." Independence in this sense does not mean that you are cut off from other people. Rather, it means that you are not dependent on anyone else to make you feel full. You are at peace with who you are confident in your own thoughts, and you are able to build your own path. Consequently, if you have ever had the experience of believing that having fewer friends makes you weaker or less successful, it is important to keep in mind that this independence is actually a significant strength. Independence entails freedom, which includes freedom from the expectations of others, freedom from the judgments of others, and freedom to conduct your life according to your own terms. You will be able to confront the highs and lows of life with unwavering confidence if you possess this quality. 2. Strong sense of identity. A robust sense of self is a characteristic that is typically possessed by those who have fewer social circles involved. In order to live a life that is meaningful, Seneca, a Roman Stoic, believed that it was necessary to have a profound understanding of oneself. According to what he said, the greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today by a significant margin. When we constantly try to match the expectations of others, we frequently end up losing sight of our own path, which in turn causes us to lose our identity. Seneca's philosophy serves to remind us of this fact. In situations where you do not have a huge number of friends or a consistent stream of social events, you are not under any obligation to conform to the expectations of other people. You may, as an alternative, investigate what has a genuine resonance with you. In the absence of the opinions or judgments of others, you are able to gain an understanding of your own preferences, aversions, values, and objectives. Through this process of self-discovery, you are able to construct a more robust and distinct identity that is founded on your authentic self, without the influence of a social environment that is constantly changing. This clarity of identity enables you to live in a manner that is congruent with your fundamental principles and aspirations. Your ability to concentrate on what is important to you is unrestricted, since you are not required to conform or adjust to the various social standards. One of the hallmarks of self-possession, which the Stoics held in high regard, is the fact that you find yourself leading with purpose rather than following the throng. Marcus Aurelius, who wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be," was another person who advocated for this inner harmony. The phrase, "be one," living your life in accordance with your ideals rather than the ever-changing expectations of others, is the best way to live. It is frequently easier for people who have narrower social circles to achieve exactly that, since they are more aware of who they are and are less susceptible to being influenced by influences from the outside world. Being able to pursue your own path leads to the development of this self-sufficiency, which is strongly entrenched in Stoic beliefs. By cultivating this robust sense of identity, you are able to establish a deeply seated self-assurance that is not affected by the pressures that come from the outside. The opinions and expectations of other people do not define who you are. Having the confidence to live a life that is authentically yours is a result of the fact that you are guided by your own personal ideals and inner compass. Therefore, if you ever find yourself strolling alone or standing away from the crowd, keep in mind that it is precisely this moment of solitude that enables you to develop into a more powerful and authentic version of yourself. 3. Quality over quantity. One of the underappreciated advantages of having a small circle is that it teaches you to prioritize quality over quantity in the interactions you have. Only the educated are free, Epictetus advocated for his followers. Even though he was referring to knowledge and self-awareness, this piece of advice is also applicable to the manner in which we select our companions. It is about gaining a knowledge of the significance of surrounding ourselves with people who are supportive and encouraging, as well as educating ourselves on who we allow into our life. The accumulation of friendships for the purpose of having more of them is not something that you're interested in doing when you have a tiny social circle. Rather than that, you look for connections that are genuine, filled with significance, and profound. People who are trustworthy, dependable, and truly supportive are the kind of people you want to have in your life. You are not seeking for friends or acquaintances who are only around for the right reasons. It is possible for superficial interactions to leave one feeling exhausted and void, but profound and meaningful ties can provide solace and genuine company. Making the decision to choose quality over quantity allows you to establish connections that are founded on the principles of mutual respect, loyalty, and comprehension. Because it is founded on actual compatibility and similar ideals, this selective approach helps to cultivate friendships that are more robust and able to withstand greater challenges. Even when things are difficult, you and your friends are aware that you can count on each other. This is true not only during happy times, but also during difficult times. It is not convenience that leads to the formation of these connections. Rather, it is intention that leads to their longevity and fulfillment. The Stoics would consider this method to be admirable. According to a quote attributed to Marcus Aurelius, "Be satisfied with fewer actions that are in accordance with your particular principles." It is possible that he would encourage fewer friendships that are in line with our beliefs as an extension of this statement. The fact that you have a select few friends indicates that you are making a significant investment in the individuals who are most important to you. It is not that you are spreading yourself thin among a large number of acquaintances. Rather, you are devoting your time and energy to the few people who actually contribute to the positive aspects of your life. When you are ever under the impression that you need to broaden your social circle, it is important to keep in mind that having genuine friendships brings more depth and fulfillment. When compared to spreading your energy across a number of superficial connections, investing in a small number of genuine friendships can be significantly more gratifying. One of the unique and valuable strengths that you possess is the ability to form relationships that will last the test of time. 4. Focused energy. You will acquire a superpower that the Stoics would be proud of: focused energy. This is because there will be fewer people competing for your time. According to a quote attributed to Marcus Aurelius, "The happiness of your life dependent upon the quality of your thoughts." When you are not continuously drawn into social activities or sidetracked by the views of others, you are able to devote your attention toward the things that are actually important to you. The capacity to concentrate is a strength that is extremely useful, and it is one that many individuals who have less social circles naturally develop over their lives. You focus your attention on activities that are in line with your values and aims, rather than letting it wander aimlessly all over the place. It could be a project that you are passionate about, a job advancement, personal development, or simply time set apart for introspection and development of oneself individually. Your concentrated energy enables you to engage in whatever it is that you are concentrating on with greater depth, regardless of what the subject may be. It is something meaningful. When a person has fewer friends, they frequently discover that their mental and emotional resources are more readily available for the things that are important to them, which ultimately results in the accomplishment of goals with greater clarity and purpose. This emphasis is not about isolating oneself or putting oneself at a distance from other people. Instead, it is about dedicating your time and energy to the things that are most important to you, free from the distractions that can come about as a result of having a vast social network. By doing so, you will be able to develop a life that is truly yours, one that is built on your own personal values and interests. Marcus Aurelius would have lauded this method because it exemplifies the Stoic ideal of living one's life with purpose and goal. He encouraged us to be content with fewer actions that are in accordance with our own principles in the meditations that he wrote before his death. Having focused energy also implies that you have a lower risk of being exhausted because you are not continuously attempting to keep up with social duties or satisfy the expectations of others. You have more room to recharge, reflect, and approach your goals with fresh, concentrated effort. This is because you are not continually striving to meet such demands. If you are continuously attempting to please or keep up with a wide social circle, this sustainable method to energy management gives you the ability to do tasks that may appear to be out of reach for you. Consider this to be a distinct advantage in the event that you find yourself in a situation where you have a smaller group of friends and more time on your hands. If you have fewer things to distract you, you will have the opportunity to devote your complete attention to the things in your life that are genuinely significant. There are a lot of people who could miss this strength, but it is one that enables you to live a life that is purposeful and intentional. 5. Better boundaries. Boundaries are something we'll discuss. Possessing a smaller number of buddies is frequently an indication that you have established robust and healthy boundaries that safeguard your tranquility and well-being. According to what Seneca had written, associate with those who will make you a better man out of yourself. Welcome those individuals who you have the potential to better. Due to the fact that men learn while they teach, the process is a two-way street. It is essential that we surround ourselves with individuals who are uplifting and inspiring, rather than those who deplete our energy or compromise our principles, as Seneca's words call attention to. You are able to be more choosy about the people who enter your life when you have a narrower group. You are careful to select friends who appreciate you and the people in your life who bring actual worth to your existence. You do not let just anybody in. Because you have gained the ability to distinguish between what you are ready to tolerate and what goes beyond the bounds of acceptable behavior, you have developed the wisdom to set clear boundaries. In addition to demonstrating that you value your peace and are not afraid to safeguard it, establishing these boundaries is a profound kind of self-respect. People that bring happiness, mutual respect, and growth into your life are the only ones who are allowed to enter your life when you have boundaries. It is not about excluding people from your life. Rather, it is about making sure that the people you allow into your life are congruent with the ideals and objectives you have set for yourself. Now that you have a clear understanding of what is appropriate for you, you are less likely to find yourself in relationships that are taxing or in situations that threaten your peace of mind. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the significance of self-defense and the importance of making intelligent decisions regarding one's social circle. The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane, he wrote. The object of life is not to be on. What he has said serves as a reminder that it is not only acceptable, but also prudent to go against the grain, if doing so allows us to preserve our inner peace and bring ourselves into alignment with what is genuine to us. No is a powerful tool, and people who have solid boundaries are aware of this fact. A tool that helps preserve time, energy, and mental health. It is something that people who have narrower social circles generally succeed at. It is a strategy that helps preserve time. They have the ability to build relationships that bring them happiness and significance, rather than those that bring them stress and unhappiness. When you find yourself feeling alone due to the fact that you have a narrow group of friends, it is important to keep in mind that setting boundaries is a show of strength. In addition to assisting you in leading a life that is authentic to who you are, they make it possible for you to connect with others who actually respect and appreciate you. 6. Higher standards for relationships. One further advantage that frequently comes along with having a smaller social circle is the ability to have higher standards for relationships. As a result of the substantial influence that relationships may have on a person's mental and emotional well-being, individuals who have a smaller number of friends are typically more cautious about the people they let into their lives. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best, Epictetus observed, highlighting the importance of this concept. The significance of surrounding yourself with people who inspire, encourage, and challenge you to increase your growth is emphasized by this ideology. It is possible to protect yourself from the emotional drain that is frequently associated with low-quality friendships by giving preference to relationships that are genuinely courteous, supportive, and in alignment with your beliefs. It is possible for shallow or poisonous relationships to sap your energy and distort your judgment, but individuals who have a limited range of friends and acquaintances are more likely to avoid these common traps. They are less inclined to settle with bonds that do not contribute to their development or well-being, and they are more deliberate about the company they keep. It's possible that this will need you to stand by yourself at times. In order to live up to your expectations, it may be necessary to choose solitude over superficial engagement or to take a break from socializing. However, the Stoics emphasized that the pursuit of virtue and inner tranquility should never be compromised for the sake of being validated by others or making superficial connections with other people. Over the course of time, this strategy will prove to be far more satisfying. You may rest assured that when you do decide to open up to someone or let them into your life, it will be someone who actually contributes positively to your path, someone who adds value rather than someone who takes away value. With the words, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you," Seneca emphasized the significance of selecting our companions with great care. Welcome those over whom you have the ability to make improvements. You will be able to encourage people to push you to be the best version of yourself if you have high expectations, and in return, you will be able to do the same for them. The relationships in question are not only satisfying, but they also bring about transformation. It is important to keep in mind that your criteria for relationships are a source of strength, especially if you occasionally get the impression that you are following your own path, or if you find that you are maintaining a small network of friends. You are not squandering your time on people who are making you feel drained. You, on the other hand, are making investments in connections that are actually significant, relationships that enrich your life and motivate you to achieve your full potential. 7. Fierce loyalty and dedication. How about we talk about loyalty? You put a lot of thought into determining whether or not someone should be a part of your life. Persons who have a smaller number of friends frequently demonstrate a fierce and everlasting loyalty. The words of Marcus Aurelius can be found in the following passage. "Do not be content to live in such a manner as the rabble do. You must be either a philosopher or one who is devoted to philosophy." With this remark, we are able to understand the level of dedication that we ought to apply to our endeavors, and by extension, to our relationships. When you come across a person who is in complete agreement with your principles, your loyalty is profound. You are there for them in a manner that other people might not be. Your pledge to loyalty is not merely a phrase, rather, it is a meaningful commitment. The most important thing is not to have a large number of connections or acquaintances, but rather to be present for the few people who are important. When you make an investment in a friendship, you do so with every fiber of your being, without reservation, providing support, trust, and dedication. As a result of the fact that you do not consider these connections to be shallow, you do not feel scared to put in the effort. Due to the fact that they are founded on true connection and mutual respect, they are well worth every dollar of time and effort. This ferocious loyalty is so uncommon. A lot of individuals are eager to move on to the next connection. But if you choose your friends carefully, you have a better chance of forming relationships that last the test of time. Due to the fact that they are constructed on a foundation of loyalty and mutual investment, these relationships are able to withstand pressure. It is common knowledge among your friends that they can rely on you not just during the happy times, but even during the challenging times as well. On the other hand, they value you even more since they understand that your devotion is not something that can be lightly gained or taken for granted. A friend is someone who shares your values and is invested in your well-being, Seneca said in his works, highlighting the significance of loyalty in relationships. Seneca also underlined the necessity of loyalty in partnerships. In addition to being a simple companionship, this level of loyalty is characterized by a profound, mutually beneficial commitment that grows stronger with time. Those who have a smaller number of friends tend to not distribute their loyalty thinly across a large number of ties. Instead, they save it for those individuals who are actually deserving of it, those who are worthy of the allocation of resources. And when you find yourself surrounded by individuals who are not only committed to you, but also equally committed to you, the power of those ties is unparalleled. Consequently, if you have ever pondered the reason behind the profound significance of your intimate circle, it is due to the fact that loyalty is one of the most powerful pillars that support it. Your connections are not only long-lasting, but also extremely satisfying because of your dedication to those you care about. Not only is loyalty a quality, but it is also the foundation upon which genuine and long-lasting ties are built. 8. An analytical approach to social interactions. People who have a smaller number of friends tend to approach social interactions with a more analytical mindset. Epictetus urged us to examine well each idea that arises in your heart, which can be interpreted as a reminder to carefully evaluate the individuals and situations that we allow into our lives. This is not about overthinking or being too careful. Rather, it is about being thoughtful and purposeful with the decisions we make in our social interactions. You do not create friendships on a whim. Rather, you take the time to examine whether or not a person actually corresponds with your beliefs, principles, and aspirations. It is possible that you will wind up with fewer friends as a result of this analytical approach. But the quality of these relationships is unparalleled. It is not your intention to fulfill a quota or fulfill an external social expectation. You, on the other hand, are concentrating on establishing connections that will bring genuine worth, purpose, and progress into your life. When you take the time to carefully assess each relationship, you ensure that the people who join your inner circle are not only compatible with who you are at the moment, but also with the person you hope to become in the future. According to what Marcus Aurelius stated in his Meditations, choose not to be harmed, and you will not feel harmed. Do not feel harmed, and you have not been harmed. The significance of making a thoughtful selection of companions is emphasized by this sentiment. You're able to cultivate an atmosphere that fosters your sense of tranquility, purpose, and potential if you are deliberate and selective about the people with whom you associate. As you engage in social interactions, you create a space for personal development and alignment with your most lofty goals. People who have narrower groups of friends and acquaintances frequently find that they spend less time engaging in useless exchanges or small talk. They have conversations and relationships that are more meaningful, based on the fact that they have mutual regard for one another, common interests, and a desire to get a deeper overall knowledge. Each and every interaction becomes a chance for them to learn, develop, and bring themselves closer in line with the life they are attempting to weave together. In this analytical approach, it is not about rejecting other people. Rather, it is about being intentional with the use of your time and energy. If you give careful consideration to the people in your social circle, you may build a life that is full of true relationships that help you grow rather than bring you down. Therefore, if you have ever had the experience of feeling as though you approach your friendships with greater consideration, you should realize that this is a strength of yours. It is a strong way to live, since it indicates that you are not prepared to settle for less than what you deserve in terms of your connections. 9. More comfortable with solitude. Being comfortable in solitude is a source of strength in and of itself. When it comes to those who have fewer acquaintances, solitude can become a source of power and clarity. However, many people are afraid of being alone. To quote Marcus Aurelius, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This is a great statement. The Stoic philosophy holds that the ultimate refuge is found within oneself, and that this is the location where one can find tranquility, clarity, and wisdom, free from the distractions that come from the outside world. One demonstrates a high level of emotional independence and resilience when they are able to maintain a sense of calm when they are by themselves. You've learnt to embrace solitude as an opportunity for meditation, personal growth, and introspection, in contrast to some people who may fill their time with incessant noise or social distractions in order to ignore their own thoughts. Instead of dreading being in your own company, you realize that being alone gives you the opportunity to re-establish a connection with your own self, to recharge your batteries, and to evaluate the path that your life is taking. Not only is solitude a space for greater comprehension, but it is also a nothingness. Your ability to hear your own ideas clearly, free from the influence of others or the opinions of others, is only possible during those times of silence. In the absence of the pressure that comes from social expectations, you are able to contemplate your life's path, your principles, and your ideals. In addition to enhancing your capacity to remain grounded regardless of what is going on around you, solitude bestows upon you the opportunity to develop and progress. To feel whole, you do not need the assistance of other people. The ability to manage life with a strong sense of self and purpose is a unique characteristic that can be achieved through independence. You have learned to find fulfillment within yourself, in contrast to many who may have difficulty contemplating the concept of being alone. The cultivation of a rich inner life that sustains you through all of life's ups and downs can be accomplished through the practice of solitude, which can take the form of pursuing a passion project, meditating, or simply enjoying the peace and quiet of your own company. The Stoic style of life is wonderfully complemented by this ease in solitude. Instead of seeking affirmation or comfort from outside sources, the Stoics supported the idea that we should concentrate on what we are able to control: our thoughts, our acts, and our responses. Recognize that the fact that you are able to find tranquility in your own company is a good thing. Your ability to maintain emotional resilience and self-sufficiency is a sign that you have developed these traits, which will serve you well in many aspects of your life. 10. Mental and emotional clarity. There is a correlation between having fewer people in your life and more mental and emotional clarity. You are able to think more clearly and profoundly because you're not subjected to the overwhelming number of opinions, drama, or conflicting feelings that are typically associated with larger social groups. Therefore, you are able to concentrate on the things that are actually important because your mind is not overloaded with unneeded distractions. It was Seneca who made the insightful observation that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Your ability to differentiate between what is genuine and what is simply the result of your own anxieties or overthinking will improve in proportion to the degree to which you are able to avoid getting caught up in the chaos that is caused by other people. Having fewer ties means having fewer emotional entanglements and less pressure from the outside world. By doing so, one can achieve a more balanced and grounded perspective, one that is not influenced by every passing drama or emotional roller coaster. There are no unneeded distractions that can interfere with your ability to concentrate on your own development, your personal goals, and the things that are in line with your beliefs. You are able to make decisions with greater self-assurance as a result of this clarity, as you are not influenced by the opinions or feelings of strangers. In a world when it is simple to become overwhelmed by the noise that surrounds us, people who have smaller groups of friends and acquaintances frequently discover a sense of serenity and control. There's a concentration of your emotional energy on the aspects of your life that provide you genuine satisfaction. It is not being tugged in every direction. You are able to respond to situations in a manner that is calm, collected, and grounded. This clarity enables you to live your life with more intention. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're having fun with this investigation of cultivating your inner fortitude and growing as an individual. We have a lot more to talk about, and I would be thrilled to have you with me on this adventure. 11. Inner peace and stability. When there are fewer friends, there is typically more inner peace. You are able to achieve stability inside yourself if you do not have to constantly manage the problems of other people, fulfill an unending number of social obligations, or actively participate in social drama. The Stoics held the belief that true tranquility could not be attained by external influences, but rather through one's own internal processes. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are, Marcus Aurelius writes in one of his famous quotes. It is the Stoic ideal to accept life as it is, and to find contentment not in the chaos of the outside world, but in the peace that exists within one's own soul. This sentiment embodies the Stoic ideal, the continual strain of social events, the need to please everyone, and the difficulty of managing several connections may all be removed from your life when you maintain a smaller network of friends and acquaintances. Spending time with yourself, pursuing your passions, or simply taking some time to enjoy peaceful periods of thought are all examples of activities that can provide you true peace and fulfillment. This provides you with the space to concentrate on these activities. As time goes on, you come to the realization that happiness is not something that is subject to the validation or acceptance of other people. Rather, it is something that you create from within yourself. You will find that you have a greater sense of stability as you become more accustomed to having a limited social network. It is no longer necessary for you to seek acceptance or attention from other people in order to feel comfortable or validated. In contrast, your worth and peace of mind are founded on the values, activities, and beliefs that you hold for yourself. The fluctuating emotions of other people have less of an impact on you, and you become more rooted in your own emotional environment. Self-mastery and the capacity to maintain composure in the face of external storms were two topics that the Stoics frequently discussed. It was Seneca who brought to our attention the following: "A good character, like a good tree, is firm in its roots. There is no possibility of it being blown over by the wind, nor is it able to be uprooted." The ups and downs of your social life, or the turmoil that comes from the outside world, have no impact on your sense of who you are when your calm comes from within. Regardless of what is going on in your immediate environment, you're able to remain unshaken, grounded, and solid. Therefore, whether you have ever discovered comfort in solitude or had a sense of contentment with a small group of friends, you should be aware that this is a tremendous strength. You are in the process of building a life of inner peace and stability, which is something that many people desire. It is a great indicator of emotional endurance and knowledge to be able to discover internal peace and contentment of oneself. 12. Stronger sense of purpose and direction. You are free to pursue your personal goal with greater clarity and focus when you're exempt from the distractions that come with having a broad social network. Individuals who have a smaller number of friends are more likely to maintain their concentration on their individual objectives without being sidetracked by the divergent viewpoints or expectations of other people. You are able to pursue what truly important to you, whether it is a passion project, a job objective, or personal growth, without having to continuously modify in order to fit in with different social groups. This level of independence enables you to pursue what truly means to you. For the Stoics, having a distinct sense of purpose was necessary in order to lead a life that was worthwhile. In his teachings, Epictetus emphasized the significance of self-control and having a sense of direction in one's life by saying, "No man is free who is not master of himself." If you have fewer pals, there will be less of an impact from the outside world that can obscure your judgment or cause you to veer about. The opinions of other people are less likely to divert your attention, and you are less likely to feel pushed to live up to the expectations of another person. Your focus should instead be directed toward the course of action that is congruent with your genuine values and purpose. This type of clarity of purpose is something that the Stoics would view to be necessary for living a life that has significance. You are able to have the mental and emotional capacity to focus on your objectives, make decisions that are meaningful, and take actions that are deliberate when you are not constantly distracted by social situations. It is not the need for approval or the fear of missing out that motivates you to do what you do. Rather, from doing so, you follow your own internal compass, which ultimately results in a more profound understanding of fulfillment. The words, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be," were written by Marcus Aurelius in his composition titled Meditations. The phrase, "Be one," The deep advice that is being offered emphasizes the significance of living one's life with a sense of purpose and authenticity, regardless of how other people may perceive one. When you let your own sense of purpose to direct your life, it improves in terms of richness, concentration, and the amount of meaning it contains. If you discover that you are drawn to a smaller circle, you should see this as a strength and embrace it. Equals. Having this independence means that you are able to pursue the things that are most important to you without the distractions and demands that come with having a wider social network. Having a more robust sense of purpose and direction is something that enables you to live your life with greater intention, selecting actions that are in accordance with who you truly are and the kind of life you want to create for yourself. Consequently, if you find that you have fewer friends, you shouldn't consider this to be a defect or something that you should feel embarrassed about. In point of fact, the Stoics would say that it demonstrates not only strength, but also resilience and wisdom. Having a solid foundation inside yourself is demonstrated by the fact that you are able to walk your own path, regardless of whether or not others approve of it. I would like to thank you for watching, and I would like to remind you that what Marcus Aurelius would say, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Be courageous, accept your course, and look at your own trip as an opportunity.